Today we're going to be looking at a couple of words in Spanish and English, a couple of false cognates, and you might have heard them referred to as false friends. So basically these are two words, one in Spanish and one in English, that sound like they mean the same thing, but that actually don't mean the same thing at all. So the word we're going to be looking at today is acertar. And it sounds like assert in English, but this is a false cognate. It does not mean assert. We're going to go over what it means and also how you can say assert in Spanish. So basically, acertar means to get it right, to get something right. And a few different ways that you can use this. We're going to look at some examples in sentences so you can see how it's actually used. So the first one we're going to look at is if you want to say, like, it's always difficult to get the little details right. Then you can say, siempre resultaba difícil acertar en todos los pequeños detalles. And this is that it's always difficult to get all those little details right, and the thing that you're getting right is those little details. Siempre resultaba difícil acertar en todos los pequeños detalles. You could also say something along the lines of, we could not get the definition right. So we would say this as, no pudimos acertar con la definición. No pudimos acertar con la definición. We could not get the definition right. The definition is the thing that we could not get right or that we could not acertar. And our third example that we're going to look at with acertar, this one's a little bit of an idiom, so this is not translating quite exactly like it would in English to Spanish, but I liked the example with acertar, so we're going to look at this one. A los 10 años era capaz de acertar en el ojo de un ciervo a 100 metros de distancia. And this means that at 10 years old, he was able to hit a deer eye from 100 meters away. So, like I mentioned, a little bit of like an idiom, able to get something right. We're saying to hit the deer, like if he's going hunting. So this is another way of using acertar. A los 10 años era capaz de acertar en el ojo de un ciervo a 100 metros de distancia. Okay, so now we're going to look at how to actually say assert in Spanish, which is afirmar. So afirmar is what you use if you want to say assert and don't use acertar. So remember, that means to get something right. We're going to say afirmar when we want to say assert. And you can remember this as affirm in English because it sounds more similar to the English word affirm. So you can think of it as asserting or affirming something that you believe in, or saying something along those lines. So let's look at a few examples using afirmar in a sentence. First one we're going to look at is, pero no puedo afirmar lo que fuera, which means, but I can't say, or like I can't affirm it was. So, pero no puedo afirmar lo que fuera, it means I can't affirm it was. So this is using afirmar. And yeah, this is using afirmar. Our second example that we are going to look at is, eso no bastaba para afirmar que todo lo demás era cierto. And what this means is that basically there's not enough to say that everything else was true. So, eso no bastaba para afirmar que todo lo demás era cierto. That was not enough to say that everything was true. And our third and final example that we are going to look at with afirmar is, yo ni siquiera habría podido afirmar que se hubiera cometido ningún delito. And this long sentence means I would not have been able to claim that any crime was committed. Yo ni siquiera habría podido afirmar que se hubiera cometido ningún delito. All right, so these are our examples using afirmar to distinguish between acertar and afirmar. Remember that acertar means to get something right, and afirmar means to assert or to affirm something. Alright, if you found this lesson helpful, remember to give it a thumbs up and make sure you're subscribed to my channel with the notifications turned on so that you can see when new videos come up every Monday and Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific time. And I will see you guys back here in a few days for my next video. Ciao!